Well, hello and welcome to my latest video. Now, I know that during these difficult times a lot of people have decided to take up cycling, so I thought it'd be quite useful if I went through some of the things, some of the items, some of the tools, some of the sort of gadgets that I find essential and that I tend to take with me on every ride that I do. So first of all, this is a roller. It's kind of like a foam roller, and stretching is very important for cyclists, particularly if you get to a certain age, and if you get sort of twinges in your muscles, particularly if you're out on a ride. Well, you will get twinges in your muscles when you're out on a ride. It's very useful if you get off the bike, get into a safe area, perhaps a patch of grass, somebody's front lawn is always useful, or there's a village green. Put the roller down and then roll your legs or your back muscles or your arm muscles over the roller. So I find that very useful, and it's certainly prevented lots of aches and pains. Now, the next item is this is a pedal spanner, and I have had problems with my pedals while out cycling, so it can be very important to tighten them up, or sometimes just to remove them, examine them, and then put them back again. So a pedal spanner. The other thing is, you may get a problem with your chain, and it may be necessary to break your chain. Now, this is a Park Tool chain breaker. It's quite a big sort of workshop type tool, but it's very strong. It works on Campagnolo, even though I don't have any Campagnolo components anymore. I used to. It works on Campagnolo and Shimano and SRAM, I believe. So very useful to carry a chain breaker with you. And if you're carrying a chain breaker with you, also makes sense to carry a spare chain, because if your chain breaks, you don't then need the chain breaker, but if your chain breaks and you need to put a new chain on, then a new chain is very useful to carry with you as well. The next item, and this may seem a little bit unusual, and you may think it's a little bit over the top, but if you start doing gravel riding, which I've tried to a bit, and you go through woods and you go through sort of forests and bridleways and tracks and things like that, you quite often come across tree roots or fallen branches or big twigs or logs even, and being able to remove or saw through some of those twigs or logs is very beneficial. And if they're a decent size and you have a wood burner or even an open fire at your home, you can stack your rear pockets and your jersey and take some of that firewood home, kindling home, which is very useful. So we'll just put that over there. Next item is, and again you might think is a little over the top, this is a hammer. And well, you know what a hammer is for, and what kind of things you might have to hammer. Well, again, if you're doing gravel riding, or if you're going across the fields, you might come across some fencing that has come down, and it's very useful if you assist the farmer by putting some of those nails back and putting the fence together. So not often used for the regular cyclist, but when you need one, you don't want to be without it, and that goes for many of these tools. This one particularly helpful. This is a pair of mole grips. Now, again, if you're cycling through the fields, you may come across a mole digging a hole in the field, and you have to grip the mole with the mole grips, and they don't like it. They really don't like it, and it stops them digging the hole in the field. So a pair of mole grips, also useful for other things, tightening up nuts or screws, or if you get stuck, you get to a farmer's gate or something and you have to try and remove some of the bits that are stopping you getting through the gate. A pair of mole grips, very helpful there. These are cable cutters, and sometimes you'll have a problem with your brake cables or your gear cables, and you need to cut them. And you think, well, I don't want to wait until I get back into the garage, or don't want to go to the bike shop and get them to cut my cables. Why don't I buy a pair of cable cutters like these? These are by Park Tools, but other versions are available. Carry a pair of cable cutters, and then you can cut your own cables to size, or just because you feel like cutting cables, which is a very enjoyable activity, I find. If you have a puncture and you are trying to get the tyre back on your wheel, can be difficult. And this is by X Tools, and these are special tyre levers to help you get the tyre back on the rim for that last section of tyre. You know, when it's particularly difficult. They do work, a little bit bulky, but I have found on various rides I've done, particularly long rides, if I've had punctures and if I'm getting a bit tired, the old fingers are getting a bit weak and I can't grip the tyre sufficiently, then being able to reach into the back pocket and pull out these tyre grips or tyre levers, whatever you call them, very useful, very beneficial. Not expensive. You can often find them in cycle shops. This particular screwdriver here, this is by Park Tool, and this is a very particular screwdriver. It's expensive, but as a new cyclist, it's a very good idea to make an investment in good quality tools. And this is directly, or rather, this is the correct size for adjusting the lower and higher limit screws on your rear and your front derailleur, which you often have to do when you're out on a ride, sometimes a short ride, sometimes a long ride, and you think, I know, I really need to adjust the H screws and the L screws, and then you need to have this particular screwdriver. You can use an ordinary screwdriver, but this one requires quite an outlay of expenditure, so it's worthwhile carrying with you so that you get the full benefit of adjusting the screws with a correctly sized screwdriver. The next item is a torch. Torch, yeah, you know what a torch is. I'm shining the light at the screen, probably annoying you intensely. You may have lights on your bike, but you may be going out during the daytime, so you've decided not to take your lights, but you're going on a gravel ride, you're going through the forest, you're going through dense undergrowth, and it gets quite dark there. So having the torch like this, and you can ride along with one hand, and you hold the torch like that, and that will light your way through the undergrowth, and it will help to reveal tree roots or logs or big twigs. And because you've thought about this and you've watched one of my videos and you've brought along a saw, then you can remove some of those dangerous impediments to your journey. The other thing that I always take, I've not had to use this so far, but you never know, so it's useful to carry this, and this is spare bar tape. And sometimes you're riding along, it's a wet day, it's quite muddy, and you're using white bar tape and it gets quite grubby. It gets a bit oily, gets a bit dirty, and you're not happy with it, so you decide you're going to change your bar tape. Well, you can't change your bar tape, boys and girls, unless you've got bar tape with you. So it's always useful. This is by Lizard Skins. Other brands are available. Touch it, feel it, love it, it says on this particular bar tape. So one of these days out on a ride, I'm going to be glad that I had this bar tape with me so I can change my bar tape. Duct tape, not duck, by the way. Oh, sorry, no, it is duck. Oh, I thought it was. Oh, is it duck? Duck brand duct tape. Duct tape is. It's not sellotape. I would advise you not to take sellotape. Other brands of tape are available, but duct tape, which is this very strong grey tape, you can use this for a multitude of things. If you're cycling along in trousers and you want to protect your bottoms of your trousers from getting caught up in the chain, then you can wrap a bit of duct tape around it. If your jacket or your jersey sleeves are flapping around there, you can put some duct tape around it. If you have run out of masks and you're going into a shop, then you can put some duct tape across your nose and your mouth. And it's very easy to do all kinds of repairs on a bike, but if you haven't got duct tape, you won't be able to do that. And the other thing, or the last thing, or probably the most important thing you should take is a multi-tool. Now, I have a multi-tude of multi-tools, and the reason I take all of these multi-tools is that I often decide that I like one multi-tool more than another. So I like this one. I like this one during the week. I like this one. This is a really big, and it's got a nice case. See, it's a nice case. You can put that on your belt. It's a bit like a holster. You can feel like a cowboy. This is a multi-tool. Comes apart like that, and it's got every tool you could possibly use. It even has a little saw on it. I think not as good as my special saw that I showed you there. Let me see. There we are. Look. I can. Hang on. I just need to work out. I need to do something to release this. How do I release this? I think, yeah, I lift that up. Oh, look at that. Look, I'm cooking with gas. Can you see that? I'm putting these spanners back, and there are. You see, there's a saw. So if you've got a little twig, little branch, you can saw through that. It's going to take you a while. So if you've got a big twig or a big branch or even a big log, then you'll want the proper saw, this one, which I showed you earlier. So don't be caught out with the little saw. Make sure you carry the big saw as well. So that's on that particular multi-tool. I need to put this away carefully. I don't want to damage myself. Got a bit of a thing about multi-tools. This one is a survival gearbox by Topeak or Topeak, as I've heard some people call it. I do have. It's got a clip. Now look at this. There's not sure what that is. There's a little bit of kind of plasticky, foamy stuff there, which I really find quite attractive. And inside, I mean, look, is this not a thing of beauty? This could have been manufactured by Gucci or Louis Vuitton. There's a little bit of sandpaper there for fixing a puncture. There's a tool there. I'm not sure what that does. There's a little spanner there. Look at that beautiful little spanner. I never found the screws or the bolts that. Is it screws or bolts? No, screws use a screwdriver and bolts use something else. Do they use a spanner? This is look at that. Look, there's a screwdriver at one end. Oh, and I'm just waxing lyrical over this because I think it's such a beautiful piece of kit. It's rather heavy, so I tend not to carry it, especially if I'm weighed down by the saw and the hammer and the torch and all the other items. And this is another multi-tool case. This is also by Topeak. The trouble is I have difficulty opening it. There it is. Look at that. Is that not a thing of beauty? Oh, it would be if I could get it out. There we are. Look, I've got it out. And that, see, look at those tool bits there. And those tool bits go in this tool holder like that. See, I'm taking a bit out, putting it in the tool holder, putting it in like that. And look, and can you hear that? Can you hear that? Can you hear that? Can you hear that ratchet? I love that sound. There is nothing. Oh, get that out. So this toolkit, see, that goes in there and that holds it down like that. And that goes on the end. This is so clever, these people at Topeak. And that is a chain breaker. So I tend to carry this multi-tool with this chain breaker. And I carry this multi-tool with this chain breaker because it's a slightly different design. And then I carry the great big Campagnolo Park Tool CT4S chain breaker, because you can never have too many chain breakers. That's been my philosophy. And if you look at my videos, you'll see that I very rarely encounter any kind of mechanical problem when I'm out cycling. I very rarely encounter any sort of punctures. So these things are what are they? They are insurance. They are insurance in case something goes wrong. And I've got everything covered. Now you're thinking, oh, come on, Julian, you don't carry all this stuff. Where the hell am I supposed to get the bags from that I can carry all this stuff? Well, you know, I'm not messing with you guys, right? This is a bag. This is by Miss Grape, and that goes on the back of your saddle. So I can get quite a number of the multi-tools in there. I can get the torch in there. I can get the bar tape in there. I can get the tie levers in there. Then there is this This is a frame bag. This is my Apogura. Some bike packing cyclists, they put clothes or they put food or stuff in there. I don't. I put my pedal spanner. I put my special derailleur screwdriver in there. I put my mole grips in case I come across any moles. And I put my cable cutters, and if there's room, which I can shove it in, I put my spare chain. So that all goes in the frame bag. And then I have this special handlebar bag by Cordell, which you may have seen before, and I can put my multi-tool in there. I can put the Campagnolo chain breaker in there. I can put the duct tape in there. I can put this chain in there like that. I can put this multi-tool in there. You see, I even got a special neoprene. I've always been a fan of neoprene, never been diving, but always quite like neoprene. I can put that in there. There's room for this multi-tool in there like that, and I can put the cable cutters in there. I'm not sure I can shut up the bag, and I can do the zip up, and then that goes on the. It weighs about 3 kilos, so it drags the handlebars down a bit. So, brief introduction to the most important, essential items of equipment and tools that any cyclist, but particularly a gravel cyclist, should carry when you're going out on a ride. And don't think, by the way, that you should only carry this stuff if you're going out for a long ride. If you're going out for a little commute, you're going up to the shops, I recommend that you take all of these items, because you never know when you might need them. And you remember the motto of that organization: be prepared. That's it. Be prepared. Take everything that you need. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Tune in for more useful advice for the new cyclist. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.